Welcome back to B&B for Phone, your ultimate source for all the juicy daytime drama. Today we have an absolutely explosive topic to discuss that will leave you completely speechless. Grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the chaotic world of Los Angeles fashion and romance. Let's be honest. The romantic entanglements of the younger generation on The Bold and the Beautiful have officially reached a boiling point, and I am absolutely here for every single second of it. We have been watching the slow-paced plot of Will and Electra's relationship slowly unravel, but recently, the writers have hit the gas pedal, and we are careening toward a massive collision. We all know that Will had deep, genuine feelings for Electra. He was completely invested in their future. But then, Electra caused him a massive, soul-crushing shock when she abruptly left him and firmly insisted that their reunion would never happen. Can you believe it? She just cut him off completely. Will was left entirely heartbroken, and frankly, I am heartbroken for him. I have always had a soft spot for Will, and seeing him destroyed by the woman he loves is just tough to watch. The deepest cut of all wasn't just the breakup itself. It was the fact that Electra sided with her family, the Forrester family, instead of the man she supposedly loved. This is a classic Spencer versus Forrester dynamic playing out through the successor characters, and it is fascinating. Will expected Electra to stand by his side, to fight for their love against the manipulative tactics of people like Ivy Forrester. Instead, she folded. She chose the legacy, the name, and the corporate power over Will's devoted heart. That's crazy. But here's the surprise. We can't place all the blame entirely on Electra's shoulders, even though I really want to. We have to acknowledge the reality of Will's personality. Of course, Will's aggressive nature also frightened Electra and heavily contributed to the breakup. We have to remember whose son this is. Will is the son of Dollar Bill Spencer. That ruthless, aggressive, take-no-prisoners DNA is coursing through his veins. When Will feels threatened or when he feels his loved ones are being attacked, he lashes out with an intensity that can be terrifying to someone who isn't used to the Spencer way of doing things. Electra was undeniably intimidated by his fierce reactions and his inability to just let things go. And you won't believe what happens next in this psychological tug-of-war. Despite being frightened by his aggression, Electra still understood his heart deeply. She knew that beneath that fierce Spencer exterior was a man who loved her fiercely and would do anything to protect her. She saw the vulnerability that he only ever showed to her. That is what makes her decision to side with the Forresters so incredibly frustrating. I honestly can't stand how Electra is acting right now. She had a choice. Electra could have stayed with Will if she had been willing to stand up against the Forrester family, but she is doing the exact opposite instead. She chose the path of least resistance, leaning on RJ and letting her Aunt Ivy's toxic influence dictate her romantic life. So, where does that leave our boy Will? Well, he is officially single, completely devastated, and desperately needs to move on from this toxic cycle. He needs someone who isn't going to run away when the going gets tough. Enter Dylan. Dylan has been right there, offering comfort, understanding, and a stark contrast to Electra's cold rejection. Dylan isn't afraid of Will's intensity. In fact, she seems drawn to it. And because Will is a free agent now, a massive plot twist is looming on the horizon. What do you think would happen if Will proposed to Dylan right in front of Electra? Amazing! Just imagine the absolute chaos that would cause. Let's set the scene for this hypothetical, jaw-dropping moment. Imagine Will and Dylan are having a romantic moment, perhaps at the beach house, or even right in the middle of Il Giardino. Will is feeling a mix of genuine affection for Dylan, who has been his rock, and a deep, simmering resentment toward Electra for abandoning him. Suddenly, Electra walks in. She sees them together. Now, Electra has been acting incredibly hypocritical lately, demanding that Dylan stay away from Will even though she was the one who dumped him. Will sees Electra standing there, judging him, looking down on him with that classic Forrester elitism. And in a moment of pure, impulsive, Spencer-driven passion, Will drops to one knee. He pulls out a ring, maybe a stunning Spencer family heirloom, and asks Dylan to marry him right there, looking Electra dead in the eye. That would be the ultimate mic drop. The sheer suspense of that moment would break the internet. How would Electra react? I firmly believe she would absolutely shatter. Would Electra regret leaving a good man like Will? Yes, 1,000,000%. Seeing the man who used to worship the ground she walked on committing his life to another woman, especially a woman she considers a subordinate, would be a devastating blow to her ego and her heart. Electra would suddenly realize the massive mistake she made. She would remember how much she understood his heart, how deeply he loved her, and how she threw it all away because she was too cowardly to stand up to Ivy and the rest of the Forrester clan. The regret would wash over her like a tidal wave. She would realize that she traded a passionate, devoted man for the cold comfort of corporate approval and RJ's friendly but ultimately safe shoulder to cry on. I would love to see Electra squirm and realize that she cannot just put Will on a shelf and expect him to stay there waiting for her to change her mind. But let's dive deeper into the psychology of this potential proposal. Is Will doing it purely out of love for Dylan, or is it a calculated move to hurt Electra? Knowing Will's aggressive nature and his current heartbreak, it is likely a dangerous mix of both. He wants to feel loved, and Dylan is providing that. But he also wants to prove to Electra that he doesn't need her, that he is a prize to be won, and that she made the biggest mistake of her life. It is a classic rebound scenario, but supercharged with that intense Spencer emotional volatility. And what about Dylan? She would be caught in the crossfire of this massive emotional war. She loves Will, we know that for a fact. She has confessed her feelings and has been waiting for an opportunity to be his leading lady. If he proposes, she would likely say yes in a heartbeat, completely blinded by her own desires. But we, the fans, know the dark truth that is lurking in the shadows. Dylan is hiding a massive secret about her identity. Wyatt Spencer is currently launching a private investigation into her past, and he is dangerously close to discovering that her arriving parents are old friends of Bill Spencer. If Will proposes to Dylan, he is tying himself to a woman who is fundamentally lying to him about who she is. Will is highly sensitive to lies and manipulation because of his family history. When Wyatt inevitably drops the bomb about Dylan's true identity, this rushed engagement will explode in Will's face, leading to even more heartbreak. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, and I cannot look away. The writers are setting up a scenario where Will is going to be caught between a woman who abandoned him, Electra, and a woman who deceived him, Dylan. Furthermore, wait, I shouldn't say that. Let's just look at how Bill Spencer would react to all of this. You know, Dollar Bill would be absolutely thrilled if Will proposed to Dylan just to spite the Forresters. Bill hates the Forrester family with a burning passion. He is already hyping Katie up in her war against Brooke, and he would love nothing more than to see his son publicly humiliate a Forrester girl. Bill might even fast-track the wedding, offering to pay for a lavish ceremony just to rub it in Ridge and Eric's faces. The family dynamics are shifting so rapidly, and this proposal would be the catalyst for an all-out Spencer versus Forrester war. In the end, Will proposing to Dylan is entirely possible given his current emotional state and his need to move on from Electra's toxic rejection. We are all looking forward to that scenario to see Electra's reaction. Will she break down in tears? Will she try to object to the proposal? Or will she run back to RJ and pretend she doesn't care, while secretly dying inside? I personally hope she suffers a bit of romantic karma for how coldly she treated Will. What do you guys think? Do you want to see Will put a ring on Dylan's finger, or do you think he needs to stay single and heal his broken heart? Would Electra finally realize what she lost, or is she too brainwashed by the Forrester family to care? Drop your thoughts, fan theories, and predictions in the comments below because I love reading what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from B&B for Phone. Until next time, stay dramatic.
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.